Okay, once again, good afternoon, everyone. Wrapping up the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. David Malukas, third place finishing driver, will join us, as will the championship team. Joined now by the second place finishing driver and Marcus Ericsson, who led 17 of the 200 laps, driver the number 28 Allegra Honda for Andretti Global, with the second runner-up finish in the Indy 500. First top three, or podium, if you will, of this 2025 NTT IndyCar Series season. This whole month seemed to be improved. This is a good showing for you, but I sense a lot of disappointment, though, in all of this, Marcus.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's this race is a winner-takes-it-all kind of race, and I had that race covered. So it's pretty painful, yeah, it is, yeah.
When you got past going into one, what happened there?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I had those laps cars ahead, and I was just struggling a little bit in the dirty air. And Alex got kind of a run on me, but I thought he wasn't going to go for it. And then sort of, yeah, that's the thing that's going to keep me up at night for a while, you know, that moment and what I did and didn't do. So I need to look back at that. And like I said, that's gonna keep me up at night for a while.
Obviously flat out in the last few laps, and then a bit of a bobble coming out of three.
Yeah, I tried to stay flat. You know, I tried to. Last 3 or 4 laps, it was just about giving everything, you know, everything I got to try and get a run, and you know, try to keep my foot down. Had some moments, but not enough today.
Still a heck of a finish. Congratulations on that. We have a couple roving microphones. You got a question? Raise your hand. Let's start here in row 2, and then Wolfgang will go to you after that.
Hi, Ben Scobie, Trinity Echo. So a bit of an open-ended question. What do you plan on doing next?
I don't know, eat some food. And then go to Detroit next weekend. So, but yeah, right now I'm just disappointed. You know, this race means everything to me, and I know how much it means to win this race. So to finish second again, it's pretty painful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Wolfgang.
Yeah, over here, Marcus.
Yeah.
At the end, it was just 0.68 seconds, I think, very close. Then I think Siegel crashed into the wall, which was helpful for Palou. Just a speculation, just say 2 or 3 laps longer. You have maybe covered Palou and could overtake him, or attack him?
I think the tough thing was those 2 lapped cars, or whatever they were, back markers, and they were sort of creating this dirty air that made it really hard to sort of overtake there in the end. But that's the frustrating thing, was that I had position on Alex, and I sort of lost that. And that is, you know, when that happened, he was definitely in an advantage. So, yeah, that's what I need to sort of look back at and try and see what I could have done differently.
Bob?
Bob Parkers, Fox Sports. Kind of following up on that, do you feel like you either made a mistake or you could have done something differently, or it's just the matter of the way lap traffic and the way you have to get around them works here?
Yeah, it's just a few things. You know, when they came out, I had sort of a half chance to get by one of them, and that would have put, you know, a buffer between me and Alex. And then, you know, when he overtakes me, you know, he kind of have a run, but not a super run, and I sort of opened the door. It's just those things that's just, you know, you play it in your head a million times already after the finish line, where you could have done different there. So it was tough with those lap cars, you know, to play it, but I had the best seat in the house there to lead the last 15 laps, and again, I need to look at it again, but yeah, it's pretty painful, yeah.
Right.
Marcus, can you kind of take me through the positives? Nobody likes to finish second here, but it's a good result for the team, good momentum going into Detroit next week.
Yeah, no, I'm really proud of the Allegra team. You know, we've really had a good month, a really good, solid month, good qualifying weekend. This race was a bit strange. We started off really strong. I felt really comfortable the first part of the race, and then my car went really oversteery. I was really hanging on and sort of struggling to keep up with anyone, I felt like, and we had to make a ton of changes. And then we had a bad pit stop that dropped us right to the back of the field. At one point we were last on the lead lap, so it was like really looking like a bad day. But that's the cool thing with us and with the 28 crew. We keep fighting. We keep, you know, never giving up, and we just keep fighting through, and that's what we did today. We just kept fighting. I had some really good, stints there in the second half of the race when I felt the car came more to me, and put us back in contention. And then that last stop was really good call on the strategy as well. So I'm really proud of that fight back, and of course, that's the thing. Second is a good result, but here it's not a good result. Here you got to win. So yeah.
Go ahead.
Alex Gins, frontstretch.com. Marcus, this looked like a track position race outside of the restarts. What was your experience in the cockpit? Was it the lap traffic that was causing the problem, or was it the nature of following another car in these conditions in general?
I think both. Yeah, it was tough in traffic, and my car, like I said, was a bit tricky to drive in the sort of traffic. But yeah. It was difficult. It's difficult when you sort of fight for the win and you have two other cars there that's sort of in front of you, and it's just, it's a bit tricky for sure.
We talked about the lap traffic at the GP earlier this month. When you're running in second behind the leader with those lap cars ahead, creating that disturbance, how hard is it to keep focused and keep calm, knowing what's on the line here?
I mean, it's, I don't know, it's not hard. I mean, I was fully locked in and then doing everything to win that race. So, it's a bit frustrating, but it's part of the game, right? It's just, it's just part of the game. So that's the way it works.
Bob?
Is it any more or less frustrating to lose to Alex, the guy who's, I don't know whether it's, he's dominating the series, so, at least I lost to probably the guy who's run the best, or, gosh, this guy nobody can seem to beat?
I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. Of course, I'm happy for Alex and Chip Ganassi. I was there for a long time, and Alex is a good friend of mine. But right now, I'm just mostly disappointed for us that we were so close.
Marcus, could you have passed one or two of those lap cars at the end? And if you could have, why did you decide not to?
No, but that's the thing, that I'm gonna play in my head quite a lot in the end there to try and sort of figure out what I could have done differently, because if I got one of the cars in between us, that would have been, a huge buffer to Alex. So it's things like that I, gonna have to, I don't know, it's gonna, again, keep me up at night thinking about that, what I could have done differently, how I should have played that differently the last stint.
Was there much, if any, sort of consideration around fuel saving, and also knowing that Alex had slightly older tyres too? No,
it was full attack the last stint.
Take one more from Marcus here. Yep. Thanks, Kins.
James Krause, Journal-Gazette. I want to ask, there are a lot of issues with guys coming to pit road, guys getting off pit road today. What was the communication for you from pit road in terms of, hey, being careful getting in, be careful getting out, just with, and was that sort of a product, do you think, of just how cold it was and guys not being able to heat their brakes up?
I think so, yeah. It was tricky in and out of the pits, really tricky with the cold brakes, cold tires, and I had that in mind, had some margins there, but like I said, there was quite a lot of people that didn't, so it was definitely, tricky conditions. It was tricky also on the restarts with the cold tires, they cool down really a lot, so I think that was, definitely a lot harder than usual just because of the temperatures today.
If you don't mind, Marcus, in Swedish, just talk about your day today.
Ja. Nej, men det var ett race som gick väldigt mycket upp och ner för min del. Startade det väldigt starkt, hade en bra start. Första delen av racet var starkt. Sen andra, tredje stinten så började bilen bli väldigt överstyrd och väldigt svårkörd. Så då tappade jag mycket positioner. Sen hade vi dåligt påstopp där vi tappade väldigt mycket tid och ramlade hela vägen tillbaks till typ sista plats på ledarvarvet, och då kändes det som att det var mer en så här recovery drive, försöka få något slags resultat med sig. Men teamet gjorde ett jättebra jobb och lyckades få oss tillbaks in i matchen med bra strategi, och jag fick bilen, vi gjorde en del ändringar i påstoppen och fick bilen att kännas mycket bättre, så då var jag komfortabel att liksom pusha på andra halvan av racet och tog oss tillbaks in i matchen. Och sen var det ju dramatiskt där på slutet. Jag kom ut i ledning och hade 2 varvade bilar, backmarkers där framför oss som ställde till det lite. Men nej, det smärtar att bli tvåa igen. Det gör det. Det här så betyder allt och vinnaren liksom, winner takes it all. Så tungt att missa det så på så små marginaler.
Andretti Global's really good on street courses. You guys should have a good time next weekend. Thanks for coming up. Appreciate it,
Thanks,
Marcus.
guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.